Tom had one big dream: to become a doctor. He took the exam with all the knowledge he had gathered over the years. But when the results came, his heart sank. Tom hadn't scored high enough to get into medical school. Tom made a decision. He would try again. He couldn't let one setback define his future. Once upon a time, in a small town called Lamka, surrounded by mountains and rivers, lived a young man named Tom. He was full of dreams and energy, known to be hardworking and determined. Tom came from a humble background where his family struggled to make ends meet, yet they were rich in love and hope. Tom had one big dream: to become a doctor. He wanted to heal people, help his community, and give his family a better life. From a young age, Tom had seen people in Lamka suffer from illnesses because they couldn't afford to travel to big cities for treatment. His mother would often tell him, "One day you'll become a doctor, and no one in our town will suffer alone." This thought became his motivation, and he poured himself into his studies, working hard every day. However, life wasn't always kind to Tom. His family couldn't afford to pay for extra classes or expensive books, and he didn't have access to tutors like some of his classmates. But he didn't let that stop him. Tom would borrow books from the library, study by candlelight, and make his own notes. While other students were enjoying their weekends, he was studying harder than ever, determined to make his dream come true. When the time came for the medical entrance exams, Tom was both excited and nervous. He knew this was his chance, but he also knew it was incredibly difficult. He took the exam with all the knowledge he had gathered over the years. But when the results came, his heart sank. Tom hadn't scored high enough to get into medical school. The news was devastating. He felt as though all his hard work had been wasted. Friends and neighbors offered their advice, some telling him to give up on medicine and try something else, others advising him to look for work and help his family financially. Tom was heartbroken, but somewhere deep inside, he heard his mother's voice reminding him, "Never give up." After a few days of reflection, Tom made a decision. He would try again. He couldn't let one setback define his future. So he got back to studying, determined to work even harder. This time he found a part-time job at a local store, using his earnings to buy better study materials. Every day after work, he would sit down and study for hours, revising everything he could, making sure he understood every detail. Months passed, and the exam season approached once again. Tom took the test with renewed confidence, feeling as if he had done everything in his power to succeed. But when the results came, he fell short again. This time, it hurt even more. He couldn't understand why life was being so hard on him when he was giving it everything he had. For a moment, Tom thought about giving up. He had tried so hard and failed twice. Maybe he wasn't meant to be a doctor, he thought. But then he remembered the people in Lamka, his mother's hope, and the promise he had made to himself. He couldn't walk away from his dream. He decided to try once more. Tom's parents, seeing his struggle and his pain, were worried for him. His mother took his hands and said, "Tom, we are proud of you no matter what. But if this is what you want, don't let anything stop you." Her words filled him with a new sense of purpose. He realized that every setback was teaching him something, making him stronger, more resilient. For the next year, Tom pushed himself harder than ever before. He practiced questions from old exams, sought advice from teachers, and even formed a small study group with other students who were also struggling. He learned from his past mistakes, focusing on the areas where he had fallen short. Slowly but surely, he grew more confident, more prepared. When he took the entrance exam for the third time, Tom felt a strange sense of calm. He knew he had done his best, regardless of the result. He had learned the value of patience, perseverance, and determination. And this time, when the results came out, he found his name on the list of students who had been accepted into medical school. Tom's joy knew no bounds. After years of struggle, disappointment, and hard work, he had finally made it. His journey hadn't been easy, but the challenges had taught him that real success doesn't come without a few stumbles along the way. He understood that each time he faced failure, he had a choice: to give up or to try again. And every time he chose to try again, he grew a little stronger. Years later, Tom returned to Lamka as a doctor. He opened a small clinic, providing affordable health care to the people who needed it the most. His dream had come true not because he was lucky or talented, but because he didn't give up. His journey inspired others in Lamka, showing them that failure wasn't the end, but rather a stepping stone toward success. Tom often shared his story with young students, telling them about his struggles and his dreams. He would say, "No matter how many times you fall, get up and keep moving forward. Success isn't about never failing, it's about never giving up." The people in Lamka looked up to him, not only as a doctor, but as a symbol of hope and resilience. Tom had taught them that with hard work, perseverance, and a belief in oneself, anything was possible. His story became a reminder to all that dreams might take time, and the journey might be tough, but giving up is never an option. Today, when people visit his clinic, they see a small sign on the wall that reads, "Never give up." It's a simple message, but one that carries the weight of Tom's journey and the dreams of countless others who are struggling. His story is a testament to the power of persistence and a reminder that, no matter how many obstacles stand in your way, if you hold on to your dreams and never give up, you will reach your destination.